leading Islamic threat to America comes through the Muslim Brotherhood.
Under various crackdowns from the Egyptian government, the Muslim Brothers fled Egypt and went elsewhere. And it is when they went elsewhere that they got this training, this connection with the Soviets, in particular in training camps, terror training camps in places like Lebanon. And virtually every single Sunni Islamic terror group in the world today, you can trace their origins back to the granddaddy of them all, and that is the Muslim Brotherhood. Hamas is the Palestinian branch of the Muslim Brotherhood. Al-Qaeda was formed from groups that originally were part of the Muslim Brotherhood. The Islamic State is an outgrowth of Al-Qaeda in Iraq.
Not long after 9/11, the FBI raided a house in Annandale, Virginia, that had a sub-basement in which federal agents discovered the archives of the North American Muslim Brotherhood.
One of those documents was what we call now the Explanatory Memorandum. And it's very useful because it lays out in quite clear terms exactly what the Brotherhood wants to do to America. And it says, the Ikhwan must understand that their work in America is a kind of grand jihad to destroy and eliminate the Western civilization from within and sabotage its miserable house by their hands and the hands of the believers so that God's religion is made victorious over all other religions. But then, the bonus is the final page of the document.
One of them included a list of some of the Muslim Brotherhood's most prominent front organizations and controlled organizations in the US and Canada, written by the Brotherhood itself, so it wasn't an outside critic writing about this.
And it says at the top, our organizations and the organizations of our friends. How helpful was that?
This was sort of the Rosetta Stone that allowed us to decode who is under the control of the Muslim Brotherhood versus who is simply someone whose views might coincide out of religious freedom or Muslim rights or something like that.
And on that list are many of these major Muslim organizations in America today, mainstream Muslim organizations, and we know, as evidence in the Holy Land Foundation trial, that these are Muslim Brotherhood front groups.
That 5 individuals affiliated with this organization called the Holy Land Foundation were convicted on 105 counts of direct support to Hamas, somewhere between $12 and $60 million worth of support. There were other organizations affiliated across the country known as unindicted co-conspirators at the time, who are still in operation today.
Today's most openly political Muslim Brotherhood front group is the Council on American Islamic Relations. CAIR's longtime executive director is Nihad Awad. Once a supporter of the pro-communist Palestine Liberation Organization, Nihad Awad now supports the officially designated terrorist group Hamas.
I used to support the PLO, and I used to be the president of the General Union for Science Students, which is part of the PLO here in the United States. But after I researched the situation inside Palestine and outside, I'm in support of the Hamas movement.
President George W. Bush, after the attacks up in the great big Islamic center of Northwest Washington, D.C. on Massachusetts Avenue, and he is in this big, beautiful mosque talking about how Islam is a religion of peace.
Islam is peace.
Right over his left shoulder, within inches of the president's left shoulder, is Nihad Awad. So from that moment, when the president was advised, was told to speak these words, Islam is a religion of peace, our response to the attacks of 9/11 was off on the wrong track.
The government has brought individuals with well-known ties to Muslim Brotherhood front organizations like Council on American Islamic Relations, ISNA, and other ones into the administration to help formulate policy.
In 2012, Democrat leaders Nancy Pelosi, Andre Carson, and Keith Ellison joined CAIR leader Nihad Awad and other Muslim Brotherhood operatives at the founding of the National Muslim Democratic Council. According to a confidential memo, the group had three main goals: re-elect President Obama, defeat anti-Muslim Brotherhood Florida Congressman Allen West, elect Virginia Governor Tim Kaine to the US Senate. Tim Kaine has long been close to the Muslim Brotherhood Front, MAS, or Muslim American Society. A MAS leader, Mahdi Bray, boasted his organization had helped first elect Kaine in 2005 by signing up 65,000 new Muslim voters. In May 2007, Governor Kaine keynoted one of Mahdi Bray's mass fundraising events. Mahdi Bray had self-identified as a Hamas supporter at a 2000 rally in Washington, D.C., addressed by the infamous Abdul Rahman Alamundi.
Anybody support this Hamas here?
When Clinton was the president, his key Muslim advisor, who would carte blanche entree into the White House, was a guy by the name of Alamundi. Alamundi is currently serving a 23-year federal prison sentence for terrorist financing.